Hey Legionnaires, and welcome back. We're here with another Rise of Mordor video for you today, and this is a glorious 3v3 battle which is on Gundabad. This is like the Road to Gundabad map. It's a really grindy like land battle map. It almost really is just like a siege battle. It's yeah, you're kind of fighting in a few choke points here, fighting in like constant choke points really across the entire map. So yeah, it's more of a siege than it is really a land battle. But yeah, we have today here 3 attackers and 3 defenders. How you make up a 3v3, and we have Dunland on the attack. We also have the Eastlings, and they are joined, as we saw, by Imladris. So we have Imladris that has sided with the servants of Sauron, and today they are attacking Gondor, Lindon, and I believe the Woodland Realm as well. Yeah, the Woodland Realm. So we have 2 elves and a men faction on one side, then we have 2 evil men on the other side, and evil elves, it would seem, in Ladris. Elrond's clearly thought, you know what, I sent the Fellowship out, but you know what, I actually want to bring them down now. Shame we don't actually have Elrond here, but yes, this is, I guess what you could say is his unit, Noldorian Rangers here. But yeah, you've not really missed anything. The elves just took that point up there. We are actually about to just see the first clash, it looks like. A lot of Elder Spearmen being brought by Dunland, which I'm kind of a bit surprised about. They're actually getting shot in the flank by Gondor archers. But yeah, these Elder Spears are about to go in against Noldorian Spears. I can't see them getting through. I mean, Noldorian Spears are pretty damn nasty as it is. You're going to need like a shock infantry to break through them at least, or wait until they're battered to actually take them out. But yeah, these guys getting shot in the back. You can see Elder Spears coming forward on this side as well. They're going to face Gondor swords. I mean, they may have a bit of better chance here, but I mean, these are still spears. They kind of get beaten by swords. It's kind of how it goes. So it's kind of surprising being an attacker that they brought so many swords. But it looks like the Eastlings are going to go in. Eastlings are actually going to send in shock infantry straight off the bat. Varag warriors here getting focused down, and in they go. And yeah, I mean, a nasty charge there. I mean, it's a really good charge for the Varag warriors. I mean, hopefully they don't get focused on too heavily. Only risk of sending in shock infantry so early is that you do like get shot quite easily, like quite quickly, and it's gonna be the same on this side. See, they're gonna go in. They're getting focused down. Look at them getting knocked down, and in they go. Gondor swords seem to be holding their ground though quite nicely. I mean, they are good swords. At the end of the day, I mean, the only risk is that obviously the Eastlings do kind of like the Locrian Mace will get the armor piercing, which is very, very good against Gondor. So over time, I think the Locrian should win this fight, unless like Gondor starts to put some volleys into them. Shock infantry they might do okay against. I mean, they're actually losing, but I mean, if they keep shooting the shock infantry, they might even that fight out. Over on this side, I mean, Elder Spears here, yeah, I mean, they're not going to break through. I mean, we've got cavalry behind, Noldorian Equestrians. They're getting shot at. They need to be careful. Oh, there's an infantry that somehow snuck around here. Dunheard swords, and that's getting chopped down right now by Noldorian swords here. They're not getting out. They're that alive. But I had seen while this fight's raging on that the defenders have brought a lot of cav. Like, they've got a lot of Gondorian cav here. And obviously the general, which is Knight of Silver Swan. It is kind of being matched by the Elven cav. There is a lot of like Noldorian horsemen here. So yeah, it seems like Lindon brought a lot of cav. He also brought obviously the very elite pikes. But I'm wondering whether Gondor, if given the chance, will go on a sally out and maybe try and outflank, because they could potentially get around here. I mean, the pikes are in the way, but I mean, all you need to do is just get some Woodland Realm archers up here and shoot them. If they can beat all this cav, they've got a good chance of causing some havoc back here. Anyway, back to the front line. Those Dunheard swords did break. No surprise, really. They kind of got surrounded by shock infantry. The fight down here goes on. I mean, these Elder Spears just, I don't believe are going to break through. They just cannot. Their medium spears are very heavy to start with. This is not looking good, though. Already Elves being committed into the fight to take on Dunland and also the Eastlings. It's a big, thick line on both sides. I think it's a bit unnecessary blobbing by the attackers. And we've got pikes in here already. We already got, look at this, Princess Coast Guard already been committed. try and deal with these these shock infantry, and they're losing as well. So I mean, maybe a little bit early to commit these guys, but they're in. They're gonna start doing their pokey pokey. Where else is now moving up? More Elder Spears. They still have more of these guys. Did Dunland just decide to bring loads of spears? Seems like he did. I mean, he has got a lot of swords back here, and he has got his shock, obviously, Blood Avengers, and Dunherd Chosen. Archers here, getting some awkward angles. We've got shock infantry through here. How are they managing this, then? Can you just sneak over this bit here? I don't know, but, yeah, they've managed to get more infantry inside. I mean, this is kind of just, I don't know what they're really achieving here. They're just chasing after the archers. Not really that worth it. And they're going to just lose a unit for this. Like, they're just getting run down and they're just getting chopped as well. Like, they're running away from units. They'd be better standing in combat. I mean, they're just, yeah, just trying to silence archers, but it's not really going to achieve much. Honestly, if I was the elves, I'd just save the shock infantry. Just hold on to it. You're going to need it. Like, for like a later day. It's really good shock infantry, and there's lots more shield walls that need breaking through. I mean, what we got over here? More Gondorians that are going to need breaking through. I mean, I'm sure there's more like Lasgarn Blades as well. We've got Shipwright Nobles over here. Yeah, there's plenty of stuff that needs breaking through. Oh my gosh, what happened here? So the Elven Cavalry went all the way through, and did it get focused down? Yeah, by Lords Lasgarn up here. Oh dear, that's not so good. So they got focused down. Now that's such a waste. Such a waste by the Elven player. The Elven players playing very, very wasteful in this game. Certainly in Ladris anyway, sorry. I'm by an Elven player. And now this kind of just gives the advantage of Cav to Gondor. And now, I mean, this Cav's either going to have to retreat behind the pike line to be safe, and then they can bring up archers to shoot the pikes. Because honestly, I think flanking round as Gondor might not be the worst idea. I mean, it's probably a good idea for the Cav. More shock infantry getting through. So yeah, they're sneaking around the top here. And I don't... This is the third time they've done it now, and I honestly don't think it's working. I don't know why Inlad just persists. He's sending one infantry unit as well. One infantry unit at a time. Oh, here we go. We've got a second one now joining. But, like, until this point, it was one infantry unit going in and getting surrounded or just cut down by multiple units. That did not get a good charge, this unit here. Plus, it's also going to have its flank showing. So if I was the Linden player, I'd be charging this unit in the flank with Noldor and Equestrians. I mean, they're losing already. I mean, you'd be better just sending them in the front lines. Just letting them cut down swords. I mean, they are cutting down swords here, but shock infantry needs protection. It's not getting it here. I don't know. It just seems like a really bizarre use of infantry. Like, throw it into the front line here. Break these spears. I mean, they've got Noldorian swordsmen in here. They need to break these spears. And shock infantry is certainly going to be a good way to do it. Because those Elder Spears are losing. And look at this. So much being thrown in here. Noldorian swords are getting thrown in. The last Garland Blades have barely seen action. And they're throwing the swords in of not, like Linden already as well. Serious blobbing going on here by both sides. Like, look at all the different, like, factions in here now fighting. Eastlings, Dunland, Gondor, Wooden Realm, and Linden, all in this one small choke point. Yeah, those swords seem to be turning it around. I mean, they help out those macemen. They are obviously beating these Elder Spears. The spears over here are losing. I mean, I'm about to say the Coast Guard seem like they've sorted themselves out, but they haven't. They're still getting kind of beaten up. And then go the Macemen again. They may break this formation here by Gondor, but I mean the Lasgarn Blades are waiting in behind. I just send these boys in. Imagine being like an elf and you're just like seeing this Gondor line get slowly closer and closer to you. I mean, good targets now coming up for archers. Dunherd's Chosen. These guys, as you can see, wearing nothing on their top half. So I mean, you could just hit them quite easily with a few arrows. They get reduced. So it's worth shooting them. Gondor really needs to use his remaining ammo on killing these guys. Because it's good shock infantry. but it's very vulnerable, and they're throwing axes now, which is also really cool that they can do. But they're the most inaccurate thing I've ever seen. I've already said to the devs that they need to change this. They need to make these throwing axes a bit more actually, you know, accurate and worthwhile. But you can see they're kind of getting stuck into the shield wall, a few of them. And in go the Elves. I mean, they're going to be shortly joined by the Dunher Chosen, I'm sure. Look at this, though. This line is getting pushed back. This is where it started. And now this is where it is. Like, these Noldorian swords are just wrecking lives. They're actually cutting down these Elder Spears. That's why you don't bring spears, especially to a fight where the Elves are going to be. Like, because the Elves just have so much shock infantry, or certainly the Noldorian ones. To be honest, even if you fight the Wooden Realm, you don't bring spears, because they're going to bring swords, and they're going to, and even if they brought spears, theirs beat yours. But yeah, Dunland bringing up his archers now as well. I mean, not a bad idea. There is a lot of shock infantry that's now in the front lines for the Elves. Focus it down while you get the chance, and we'll also, I mean, also shoot that pole arm unit while it's there. The Elves falling back. I mean, it's kind of bizarre. Any reason for it? I guess because they broke through over here. I don't exactly know how they have, but we've got Varag Warriors in behind. We've got Noldorian swords. I mean, I'm guessing they did the whole flanking again. I mean, actually, well, these Noldorian spears are starting to waver at 33 men. That's kind of huge. I hate that this is the forest. So hard to see what's going on. But yeah, and we got Lasgarden Blades that got thrown in to try and support the line, but it seems like they broke through, and that's probably why the general retreat's been called over here. Gondor's gonna hold on for as long as possible, and he's, to be honest, his infantry's not too unhealthy. Like 96 men, 74. I mean, the Loki are just throwing themselves in here. It's not a bad idea, but I mean, there was a gap in the line they could have maybe snuck through. It's kind of been closed now. And Gondor, look at this thin line of elite, well, I say elite infantry, trade infantry. That's what they really are, but they're going to get assaulted now by a load of angry men that have got big axes. Noldorian spears already breaking, and the Lasgarden Blades breaking as well. 44 men, that's quite high for them. You usually see them fight till at least they're in their 20s. And by 20s I mean 20 men left, not like they live to their 20s. Elves live a little longer than that. But yeah, I mean, they're getting surrounded here slowly. I mean, honestly, if they had some cav, I mean, I just recharged from this shock infantry that's just surrounding the Lasgarden Blades. I mean, it's not a bad idea. They have all that Gondorian cav, or they did. Please tell me it's not gone and died somewhere. No, it's still alive. Okay, that's good. I do apologize if I sound slightly like snuffly. I've got a bit of a cold, and yeah, but it's not enough to stop me from doing awesome Rise of Mordor videos. So I hope you guys are enjoying anyway. If you are, do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're around here, and a comment to show your support. As always, it's very much appreciated. And there you go, Gondor's been cut down. That was pretty easy. Just send in some angry bare-chested men, and you break through. Don't need any of these Elder Spears. But what are the numbers looking like? It's 3,900 against 4,800. So I mean, attackers do have the slight advantage, but the defenders obviously have really strong positions. And they have elves. Like there's two elven factions here. They've got, so their numbers are always going to be lower. Noldorian nobles as well yet to come up. So I mean, these boys are going to see a lot of action, I'm sure, and they're going to be getting a lot of kills. I'm sure of that as well. We still got things like shipwright nobles alive as well. So we are back. Unfortunately, the replay did in fact crash at one point. So yeah, I had to basically go through the entire battle again until we got back to kind of the point that we are at, and luckily that's didn't take too long. So yeah, as you can see, the forces of evil plus Imladris have taken these first two choke points. I mean, obviously they've kind of like taken a few massive losses in other areas. I think the Cav that they just got shot over here, for instance, that's just a massive loss. Don't know why they like just ran this all down here to get gunned down. It seemed a bit silly. They're now setting up pikes, unsupported, which I'm not a big fan of either. I mean, this Imladris player is maybe playing with fire here because, I mean, they could easily just get shot or charged by cavalry, if potentially. I mean, luckily there is like no way for them to get shot until they get to about here. I mean, as soon as they get around here, they're probably going to get shot at by like these Noldorian archers, more than likely. But we will see. And it seems like Dunland is going to be the first to arrive at the next line of defense, which is Gondorian infantry. There's also Lasgarland blades. There's plenty of archers behind here. We've got a lot of beaten up Noldorians. We've got Gondor archers here. And what shock infantry we got? Is this Axemen or Losnark? They actually decided to bring these guys? Oh dear. Gondor, never bring these guys. These their shock infantry just sucks. Axemen or Losnark, just not worth bringing. You better just bring in more Gondor swords or something. They've actually stuck some little Lasgarland blades around here. And they've got their cav here, which is very, very interesting. But yeah, I mean, the attackers are sending nothing around there. I guess they maybe don't realize that's a pass. Maybe think that's the edge of the map. I mean, there's a Champions Reavers here. They may, if they're patient, the Gondor cav may be able to get in and get that cav and maybe other infantry units as well. They may just need to wait until the attackers are fully committed. Over here, Imladris seems pretty beaten up. I think he lost far too many men in that first choke point fight, doing like flanks, which just didn't end up like getting anywhere. He's got some decent shock infantry still alive. Archers with no ammo. I mean, his archers are okay in combat, in fairness. He has still got archers with ammo as well. And he has got the pikes, of course. So he's got some decent assets. Obviously, the defenders have as well, and Noldorian nobles, shipwright nobles. I'm sure they've got woodland. Yeah, the woodland realms brought some hull guardians. So they are pretty good in assets as well. Prince's Coast Guard, even though it's not that great. I mean, it's something you're going to have to shoot or deal with. And what else we got here? We've got Elven King. Yeah, I mean, they've got some pretty useful units still alive. So, what's coming over here? What is coming over here? So, we've got Easterling units that are coming around here. Are they going to go and support that pike unit, these pikes, and push up here? Potentially, by the looks of it. Anyway, I'm going to fast forward until the next real combat begins, and it does look like they are going to send troops around this flank here as well. I guess maybe they've seen the swords, and then these are hidden, so I guess they just know there's a path here. They're going to have a surprise when they run into the cavalry. I mean, the two swords are going to be in a bit of trouble. The halberds might be okay. If I was the cav, I'd maybe spring my trap sooner rather than later and hit these macemen, try and do a lot of damage to them. I mean, they haven't got the cav to deal with the Gondor, so they should be okay. They've got what, like champion reavers and like all the other cavs, like archer cav. But here we go. It looks like we're about to see these Locurum get the fright of their life. Or at least I hope they do. I hope Gondor commits and doesn't just retreat. Gondor spear cav should do just fine in this scenario. Unless that, yeah. Oh, Eastlings, are they just gonna block up the choke point and then just put these halberds here? I mean, if Gondor charged now, he'd be okay. But now it seems like Champion Reaver's coming across. Yeah, Gondor's going to retreat. Ah, no. Oh, no, he's not. He's changed his mind. He has changed his mind. I'm liking this. Come on, Gondor. I believe. So Gondor is going to spring his trap. Whether it's going to work, Locurum are forming shield wall. The halberds are coming up. Obviously, the halberds are going to be an issue. Oh, Gondor's seen the halberds and thought better of it. Or has he? I don't know really what he's doing. No? Okay, fair enough. He's just going to stand there and they're going to just have a good old stare off. I mean, in fairness, what can either side do? I mean, I guess Gondor could charge into this unit, maybe. But yeah, they're now going to defend the choke point. They'll get the two swords there, stretch the halberd out really long, and then it'll just be able to protect both units. And that choke point is now kind of in control of the Eastlings. We're going to see a very thin line of Elder Spears coming up first. I mean, not worth shooting them. Please don't shoot these guys. Oh, they are. It's not worth shooting. A, because they're a shielded unit. Also, they're just so weak. Like Gondor's wasting his ammo here. He's better saving it for, well, shock infantry that's yet to come. But as you can see here, Dunland's got a lot of ammo left, and these are all healthy archers. So I mean, Dunland's gonna have a real control, really, of the missile department. I think, certainly over Gondor. But here we go. Spears coming in. I mean, these spears aren't going to break through. But, they're burning trees. Okay. Fair enough. Don't know why bother, but they're burning trees. Shooting down these Noldorian swords, that is literally all I'd be using my ammo for right now. Just shoot. They've got a lot of ground to cover to try and get to this front line. Look at them, they're getting knocked down. 40 men left. Just hit them as hard as possible, because they're going to do a lot of damage to that sword line. These are silver chevroned elves. Yeah, you can have as many chevrons as you like. You still get hit hard by archers. Yeah, down to 71. I'm going to say they'll be down to at least 50 by the time they hit the front line. Into the 50s. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, down to 50. They are murdered. Murdered. That's the danger of shock infantry when you send it over like large areas of open ground where archers are kind of like defending. Some of the other ones got there a bit more intact. I mean, this will go here with 81 men. That's good. I mean, I guess small sacrifice, but this charge is not going to be that great now. These Noldorian swords are not going to break through. Dunherd archers focusing down this coast guard. Though is a really good target to take out. I mean, it's a weak pole arm. Take out with a few volleys of archers, and it's in bad trouble if it goes into combat. Over here, Gondor Cav now shifting across. I mean, Gondor's Cav could just go kind of anywhere in here. If it it goes like out this choke point here, flanks round, and it could attack, well, this entire front here. And that's what I'd do. I mean, I'd do it before, before the Elven Cav arrive, put it like that. But also at the same time, it's a good ace to keep up your sleeve, just having all this cavalry just fresh and loitering around. There's no need to commit it, there's no rush. In fairness, the elves here look like they're finding it very hard to break through. Finding it very hard to break through. I mean, well, I say that. They are beating them. They're losing over here, though. This is just... You can tell the difference between units that get focused down and the unit that makes it there fresh. Like, one does really well, one does not. Dunland now setting in their Dunherd swords. I love the Dunherd swords because they have hand-me-downs Visengard. So they got like some really curved, broken sword, I guess, and they have the shield. Now they've got a shot going in. So I mean that shock and the sword combo should do okay. I mean yeah, here you go. You can see Noldorian swords starting to lose. They're going to need some support from Dunland. Loki Rimmels obviously will be doing their best influence. They're apparently losing as well. Everyone's losing. I mean, that's how war works. Everyone loses. We've got Wards of Rune over here. They're going to do a lot of damage. These are the most elite shock infantry for these slings. Look at that, like, vicious blade. I would not want to be at the end of that. I'm just keeping an eye, just making sure no like charges like cavalry's going on. What have we got here? We've got pole arms coming up. Halberdiers here. Yeah, these halberdiers are not going to be anything impressive. Very easy to focus down. But yeah, these things are setting up to maybe make an assault over here. But yeah, this is it's going well in some areas for the attackers, but in other areas they are losing. I mean, over here is really good. I'm liking this. They're going to need to send these Gondor archers in soon, though, because these elves are going to break through. I mean, even so, these archers aren't going to stop the elves. They're just going to prolong the breakthrough from happening. These Lasgarland blades are getting cut down by their Noldorian kin. In they go, yeah, the Gondor archers go in. They need to go in. I mean, if these Lasgarland archers hear you to pull their ammo soon, they may need to be sent in as well. I mean, what we got here? Wards of Rune, really good target to shoot. Also showing its back. I mean, none being killed yet, but well, this guy's not looking so hot. He's got an arrow through his chest.
Our men have given up and are running for their lives.
Yeah, he'd be dead. But yeah, I mean, that's a good target to take out, or at least weaken, even if you don't take it out. Oh, and they broke it through the center. Oh my gosh, yeah, okay. Gondor absolutely like just routed in the center. Got very little support here. And now they're into the archers, which have no ammo, but even still, they could have been handy for like later choke points. This is not good. They might need to start thinking about retreating, yeah, pulling forces round here. I mean, they've got pole arms here ready to go, Noldorian swords. They're going to have to defend this choke point next. Have they got any? Oh well, have they got anything over here? Yeah, it's still the Eastlings here. They've actually come out with their choke points, so that's kind of works for the Elves and for Gondor. Yeah, this is not good. Like, Dunland is taking no chances of anything getting back. He's got Dunherd chosen in behind already. And he's chasing stuff down Dunherd's swords as well. I mean, they're going to have to go up against Noldor and nobles now, which is going to be a pain, because these guys have good ammo, good morale, and they are very good at killing stuff. So, yeah, these guys will go to, like, the last man. I've seen them go to the last man. So, killing them could be a bit of a trouble. And also, like I said, armor's very, very good. So they're going to have to use a lot of ammo, very key, obviously, at this point of the battle, that they preserve as much ammo as possible. I guess maybe the Guards and Ladris might be a good match for them, because they're pikes, so they got the range over the pole arms, but I wouldn't be 100% sure, to be honest. Like, these Noldoran nobles, they're built different. But it looks like they're all already going to go into this this combat over here. Elves not slowing down, going in against the Lasgarland blades, who have been quickly thrown up to try and defend this choke point. I mean, they're not far now from the cap point. If they take this point here, they have to just go through here, and then they're into the cap point here, which is his final defense here. I mean, this is the best point to hold them. I think now where they have the attackers is a good point. I wouldn't want to be at this last stand, especially with the Cav still around. And here we go. I was going to say, speaking of Cav, we're now seeing the Cav move forward. Is the Cav going to go for the general over here? This is the Bane of the Steppes general, the Eastlings general. Kill him, does a lot of damage to morale. Will do a lot of damage to morale. I also got the Elven. They also still have the Elven King, so I mean, using him would be very, very good. Like, they spent a lot of money on Cav. We'll keep an eye on that cavalry. Oh, is that is, yeah. Here we go. About to see another charge over here. Knights of Silver Swan. They tried something, I think. Did they actually go in? Yeah, it looked like they did actually. Gondor Cav here though, yeah, just standing waiting. I just go in. Go in. Sorry, I'm like jumping around a little bit. Just I kind of want to don't miss if generals are going to get sniped. But yeah, Lasgarland blades here getting absolutely murdered. Look at the amount of blobbing that's going on here though by the attackers now. They're getting a little careless, and the defenders still do have ammo. I don't know if they have any on this. Oh yeah, they do. They have Noldorian archers here with ammo ready to go. That they should be shooting down like Dunherd Chosen and things like that. But Hall Guardians next in the line. I mean, again, another unit that's got good armor, and it's going to be hard to kill. I mean, I just stack like a swords unit on top, and you'll be okay. Not, well, yeah, stack a Lasgarland blade on top would be good. And there we go. The general has been caught. This is not good. I mean, they should pull one of these units out and then just keep cycle charging this Bane of the Steppes, because he's actually a melee cav. So as this fight goes on, it kind of goes in his favor. But it's a 2v1, so I don't know whether he can take on two fresh Gondor cav. But yeah, they should take one of these units out and then get it around and then just surround this general. Also gets another good charge off on him. The Eastlings have just like abandoned their general. Look at this, all run off down here. They are not wanting to get involved in this. And this could be huge though for the defense. Like, this is a general being killed. Eastlings have a relatively decent sized force left. They've still got halberds, they still have infantry, shock infantry, some archers as well. So like, Eastlings, they're looking pretty healthy. And this general, like, staying alive would obviously massively help that. If he dies, then, I mean, you know how artillery is. Morale starts to drop. This seems like a pretty even fight, though. I mean, Spear Cav is very, very good. Spear Cav is, like, beats most Cav. But I would have thought melee Cav would stand a pretty good chance against the spears because, well, that's what they are. I mean, it says a very heavy command, but it's a melee Cav. You can see by the weapon they're using. They're using a big old axe. But yeah, I mean, they're dropping a lot quicker than these Gondor spears. Yeah, there you go, losing. We'll come back to that in a moment. But it seems like they've thrown in. Oh my gosh! Okay, so they just what did they destroy that with? What did they destroy this with? Did they just attack it? Did they just attack the wall? I kind of missed that. Did they just destroy the wall then? And then you can see they've got cabin and stuff. Noldorian horses kind of getting wasted though, just being thrown onto those coast guard. But some have got through. But it's another choke point now that the defenders have to defend. You can see here that the Eastlings have got around the sides of these Axemen and Lozanark. So this choke point's looking a little bit dicey. But obviously the Eastlings could break any point with their generals about to die. Yeah, oh look at that. The general for Gondor did not do so well. What did he charge in? He's getting like hit hard. Is he oh my gosh, he's actually going to charge in these halberds. Thank God. I thought he was going to just get himself killed there. These axemen though here should just go into the flanks of these halberds. Yeah, go into the flank of these halberds and then allow the Cavs to come flying on in. Didn't really catch that, but there you go. I kind of like presume that the general got long back, but there you go. Those halberdiers now going to get destroyed. But yeah, I mean that's good. That's really good work there by Gondor. That's what you got to do. I mean he's still losing cavalry though. Needs to be careful. The Elven King clearing up what's remains of the Noldorian horse. That's really good. Allies have lost their general though. Yeah, Gondor still lost his gen even though he did that. That's not so good. Gondor's infantry kind of a little bit fragile as well if it loses its general. It may do okay, but these Axemen and Lozanark, I mean they're losing anyway. They didn't need their general to die. And they got pole arms over here. They're losing as well. They're barely. Oh, actually, they are kind of getting flanked by these axes here. How is the Bane Steps doing? He's not doing well, put it like that. Both these units winning. Yeah, the general is dead, but they're about to kill off the Bane Steps, and he's trying to. I think he's trying to get through. Yeah, I think he's trying to like push through or like get back to his army, but he's been murdered, and the unit's been broken, and now the Easterlings have no general. So that's a general for general trade, not bad. And it looks like over here, yeah, the Noldorian nobles get beaten by guards of Imladris when it came to a pike fight. And now the pikes move forward onto swords. So that's obviously good for them, and you can see over here that the defend. I mean, they're winning actually, but I mean, there's a big gap in the line. I mean, Elven King are like kind of holding the attackers back. I guess they don't want to put anything in the choke point in case they get shot, but I mean, they're getting shot anyway because they're flanking. These Dunherd swords here in a bit of trouble, and it looks like by some miracle, I guess with the support of the general, maybe. These axes are going to somehow beat Loki and Macemen. I mean, they are shock infantry, yes, but they're terrible shock infantry. They cost less than the Loki Rim. They're going to actually be... That's huge, because this flank here could have been a real trouble. Actually, I say that. That unit's wavering now. Don't do this. Elven King coming over. I mean, he could do with just maybe doing a charge into that Loki Rim, breaking that. And there we go. Hall Guardians now back in the front line, but they're getting focused down. They're down to 70 men now. And I don't think they're going to win this fight. We've just seen halberds get absolutely destroyed by pikes. Yeah, because they can't get the range. Look at that. They get murdered. Oh my gosh. These guards of Ladris are going to do just great work here. Yeah, Hall Guardians getting evaporated. These are Silver Chevron as well. Yeah, you can see they just can't get the range. Can't poke their pike opponent. And yeah, they're dead. They'd be better just letting the pikes through the choke point, flanking them. Or just shooting this unit. It's not got great armor. Like every pike unit. Lasgarden blades here, they're getting forced back. They're going to have to retreat. There's a lot of elite infantry in this one spot here though. Like shipwright nobles here. I mean, Coast Guard aren't that elite, in fairness, actually, so I'll take that back. There's one elite unit there. And they want to start thinking about moving troops across. Like, these shipwright nobles are not needed here. You're going to be able to tell if anyone's going to shift anything to here. Cav now in behind, though. Gondor Cav, obviously fresh from beating the Bane of the Steppes, and now going to be able to thread in the rear lines. And we've got, well, guards and ladgers here that were sent back from the front. I mean, they're not really protecting the rear that effectively. They can still get around. I mean, you could go after this general. Obviously, the risk is, obviously, if you go and get engaged, then you're going to get killed by the guards of Imladris. Yeah, they've kind of taken the choke point now. They're doing their little pokey.
Our men have given up and are running for their lives.
Blood Avengers, they've now been committed. They've also got their Isengard hand-me-downs. They have some lovely helmets sent across. Saruman was like, I will give you hundreds of helmets if you just kill those dastardly elves. And Dunland is more than happy to oblige. I mean, then the shipwright nobles are holding their own though. A tough old unit to break. And the shock infantry did win. That's huge. Those axes of the Lost are going to be huge over here. We've got more Noldorian nobles coming over. I mean, they cannot go into combat with these guards of Imladris. But just see what happens. They need archers. They've got like Lords Lasgarden here, and they're all stood on top of each other. It's just like obstructing each other. Get them like here and fire them over and just hit this guards of Imladris. You'll kill it. Cavalry now going in the back lines. Oh, going for general here. I mean, this is good for Gondor. A good fight for Gondor's, like, Bocav, even though it's very heavy. They will beat that. They will beat that. They just need to keep this other guards and ladders preoccupied by the Cav here, and they should be able to win this fight. I mean, it's Silver Chevron, but even still, I don't think they can beat that. Like, I don't think they can beat the Gondor Cav. I don't know. I'll have to find out. I mean, there's infantry now coming around to support. We've got shipwright nobles coming around. We've got the Noldorian archers. They are bringing around a lot of stuff to try and support. So we'll keep an eye on that general fight. Over here, it seems like we've got more shock infantry being thrown in. I mean, they're barely holding on over here, the elves. They've got a combination of a weak Lasgarden blade and a weak Noldorian noble. Desperately trying to force back these wards of Rune. I mean, if this Noldorian noble was healthy, I'd say they have no chance, but there's always a chance. I mean, I don't know why this Noldorian sword's not just flanked around. You could just do that. They don't really hold the choke point properly. And they've now just sent... It's kind of bizarre, but they have just sent it... Oh, they had its rear turned. Okay, fair enough. These guardsmen lads just turned themselves around and they just got rear charged. And they're now going to have to run, and they're going to get more men cut down. Fight over here is obviously not going in favour of Gondor now because his infantry has been committed. But it doesn't really matter. Just pinning down the general and allows the Elven King to come in and do things like that. And oh boy, that's a good charge. Elven King should do well out of this because there's no archers really around to focus him down. And they are getting murdered, these Eastlings. I mean, they have no general. I mean, they can go in and just rear charge anything over here. The front line though is still looking a bit desperate for the attack, for the defenders. Sorry. The attackers are making ground. Blood Avengers, they are losing slightly. They are losing in a few areas. Guards of Enlarged just need to pull it out of the bag. They are focusing down these Noldorian nobles, but it may not be enough. But yeah, the Cav is now causing all sorts of problems in the back lines. I mean, they're going after the guards that are still somehow alive. I mean, he's Loki and Maceman, yeah, not worth charging. Hit this wall as a rune in the back, and then route this. And this frees up all this infantry then, which is huge. There's still Hall Guardians here, wow. And this has got to be it now for the defenders. They cannot have many more reserves. Yeah, they have like a few archers, but that is it. Everything else is committed. The general champion Reaver's over here is a good idea. He's going to be needed to pin down some cav. But obviously it's a risk now with shock infantry around. Noldorian swords supporting that is not a good sign for any sort of cav combat. Though the Gondor cav is winning that fight, or is losing that fight. But as is the bow cav. It's literally because the archers are there that they're winning that fight. Are in Ladris. I mean, these macemen, because their general has been lost, they're going to break at 100 men. That's kind of poor. And yeah, the Elven King's going to be needed in here to sort of keep pinning down this general. If they can get him Ladris' general soon, that's great. I mean, it doesn't really do much for him, because in Ladris, like the rest of the elves, when they lose a general, it's just nothing to them. They just carry on the fight anyway, but I mean, killing him off will be great. Killing him off's good. It's one less cav unit to worry about. This cav just been thrown in here. So the champion Reavers got charged in. I guess if they can, yeah, if they can break through here, because it's just a Gondor general. Get in, they can do some rear charges. Shipwright Noble's losing here. It is still very close over here. Like, who is going to win this fight? And there you go, yeah, the Champions Reavers are through, so they can now hammer and anvil anything really over here. Obviously there's more reserves coming up. I'm sure these Noldorian nobles will be sent to go and deal with them. But yeah, they're going to hammer and anvil some Lasgarlan blades. Here's not a bad idea. These Lasgarlan blades have had a pretty rough day, to be fair. But as you can see, the reserves are now arriving. Or the reinforcements are arriving, including Cav. Which has actually just got kind of just stopped in its tracks by archers. Surprisingly, Eastling archers as well, which have no general. And are probably quickly running out of hope, but we have now got Hall Guardians coming in. Shipwright Nobles and other stuff. So, I mean, all getting committed. And this is kind of it. I mean, they've got the Champion Reavers through, but they're not going to be able to get many kills. They might be able to get this Lasgarlan general, though. Wasn't a great charge. It's a pretty poor charge.
Keep him alive.
Again, another unit that has like Isengard hand-me-downs, which I really love. Yeah, they're now going to get pinned down. They need to get out of there. Yep. I mean, they're going to sort of pull through the unit. I mean, they kind of pull through and right. Yeah, they'll lose a few men for that. But yeah, everything getting chain routed now for the attackers as the reserves arrive, and that is going to be a victory for the Wooden Realm. And it was a hard one. I honestly, like, the attackers did a really good job. Certainly in the first few stages. I still think they maybe have lost a few too many men on the first assault. I think something like Ethan here, who was playing as Imladris, I think he, like, some of his infantry like got no men. I mean, he did actually really well most of his infantry. But I think some of them certainly kind of got focused out and isolated a little bit too easily. His Cav as well. I mean, his Cav just got wasted. It's a real shame because it's really expensive Cav. But anyway, yeah, this one was sent in by Karpov, who was playing as the Wooden Realm. He did really, really well with his generally with his army. He's got 327 kills as Elven King. That's really healthy. So that's like the Elven King of old, getting insane kills. You got Lasgarlan blades here, getting a wide range of kills. I mean, the best one getting 184. Actually, it's like only 2 that get into the hundreds. So yeah, those Lasgarlan blades had a rough day. Hall Guardian's getting 188 kills. His Lasgarlan Archer's getting 140, 150 kills. But yeah, so nothing like, I mean, so some decent kills there. Then we got Replica Rider, who was playing as Lyndon. He's got 216 kills with his Shipwright Nobles, and it's still healthy. It's just insane. 258 with the other one, and then his Shock Infantry doing okay as well, getting some really good kills here, getting 235. His Spears, 95 kills is not too bad. His Noldor Nobles, 86 kills before they got murdered. A real shame because it's, again, a really expensive unit. The other one getting 95 and still healthy, so it may have gone on to do quite well. His Archers are getting 146. The other's not so great, which is kind of a shame for Elves. Then we have LSG5, who's playing as Gondor. His general getting 139 kills before he died. Probably shouldn't have had him charging the halberd so much. 123 kills with his Gondor swords, I think is the best one. His axes getting 167. His polearms 247, which is pretty good actually for Coast Guard. It's actually quite exceptional. And then his archers, yeah, nothing really here for archers. Kind of a shame, Gondor. He kind of wastes his ammo, I think, shooting at like shielded units, so he should have saved it for like shooting at like shock infantry and stuff like that. But his cav did well. It was like kind of the MVP of the game for the defenders, flanking around, killing the Eastling general, and then flanking around and causing all sorts of havoc in the rear lines. 187 kills for them. And then we have Ethan, as we were saying, playing as Imladris. 117 kills with his Noldorian Rangers, not too shabby. And then he's got 200 kills here for his Noldorian swords, and then 304 for this one. So they did insanely well with these swords. His pikes getting 125. His archers getting 67, 79. Like, again, nothing too impressive there for Noldorian archers. And his cav, as we see, doing very disappointingly. Then we have Keen, who's playing as Dunland. Again, getting quite did pretty well. Dunland taking up a lot of the heavy lifting early on. I think bringing all these Elder Spears was a big mistake. Bringing more Dunhead swords would have been good. They're cheap, and they do okay. With 108 kills, is not too bad. His Dunhead Chosen I would have brought maybe more of as well, because they're cheap and they do well. 242 kills is better than his Blood Avengers, who only got 112. His Spears, as you can see here, not even hitting 50 kills. His Archers getting 75, which is not okay, I guess, for Dunhead Archers. Then we bring back Boolean, who's playing as Eastlings. Did pretty well, actually. I mean, did okay. Again, nothing like insane. I mean, he got one Locarim getting 100 kills. The rest, not that great. And he was facing Gondor. And Gondor's supposed to be like the perfect faction for these things to kill. We got Varag Warriors here with 102 kills. 175 with his Wards. Rune's pretty good as well. His Halberd's going to focus down. And his Locarim Archer's getting 119 kills. So, not too bad there. He may have got more kills if his general hadn't been killed off and causing like routes, but yeah, he did pretty well. But there you go, guys, that is today's battle. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're around here, and a comment to show your support. And until next time, I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.